Hey there, Nicole. So your question is, how can I land consistent paid gigs in both commercial and fashion modeling? Submit yourself consistently. Do you know how I have a full-time modeling career? I submit myself to $10,000 worth of modeling work every single day. How often are you submitting yourself to jobs? And please don't give me the excuse that, oh, I don't have an agency. I book jobs without my agency all the time, and I have like a dozen of them. How often are you submitting yourself to jobs? You can't expect full-time results from hobby level effort. If you want to do this consistently, and have consistent bookings and have consistent pay, you need to consistently be submitting yourself. The problem here is if you don't know what actually works for you and what people actually want to book you for, you can submit yourself all day to work that people don't want you for. So what am I going to tell you? I'm going to tell you need to go back to your what? Fundamentals. You need to figure out, why are you doing this? What are your goals? What are your modeling niches? What market are you in? What are your rates? Okay. How are you going to consistently get booked? You don't even have rates. You don't even know what you're trying to get booked for. You don't even know where you're working. You don't even know what your goals are. You have no idea why you're doing this. Get your fundamentals. From there, get your digitals together. What are you going to submit if you don't have any photos? At least with your digitals, people see what you look like and can consider you. Once you have your digitals, start building up your portfolio. Make sure you have a packed bag so that when you get booked, you actually can be professional. Network with people, because sometimes there's jobs that are not put out into the internet. Sometimes there's jobs that never see agencies. It's somebody who's texting you saying, hey, I have this job. It pays $1,500. Are you available? Hey, I have this 2-day job in Orlando. Are you available on those dates? Here's the rate. Network. Okay. Submit yourself constantly. And then if you've done all of that and you want to increase your income, get an agency to amplify what you're already doing. Now, mind you, this process sounds complicated, but I'm taking models through it right now in like 12 days, 12 to 13 days. So in less than 2 weeks, I'm making sure that models know why they're doing this, what their goals are, what their niches are, what market they're working in, what their rate should be. They have their digitals, they have a portfolio, they have an online portfolio site, they update their social media and post on it and reach out to people. They submit to modeling jobs, and as a bonus, they submit to agencies. So the process is not difficult if you know what you're doing. Again, if you want hands-on help like that, you can always hop on a quick 15-minute call with me, see where you're at, where you're going, and how we can help. If you're a good fit, then we can move forward. But in all honesty, that process is short because in less than a day, you can do a lot of these things if you know what you're doing, especially if you show up and you take action consistently. The reason that I'm able to take models through that whole process in 2 weeks is because all they need to do is watch a training that's an hour or less, take action by answering the question at the end of the training, and show up the same way the next day. That's all they have to do. If you have no idea what you're doing, you have to figure all the stuff out by yourself and troubleshoot versus having a guided process. So when it comes to how do I get consistent gigs, you have to have a process for that. And it's not one of those processes where it's just like, oh, well, I'm going to skip the first couple of days. I already know this, X, Y, and Z. Let me just submit. Chances are, if you don't go through this process, no matter how long you've been modeling, I'm going through it with them. So like I've upgraded my rates, I've upgraded my digitals, I have upgraded my social media. Like I've done all these upgrades with them, even though I've been modeling full time for like 5 to 6 years now. This process allows you to refocus and recenter what you're actually trying to do as a model. So even though I'm trying to double my income in the next 2 years for modeling, because I did that when I first started out and I'm overdue for it now. So that's a little personal, but this process allows me to see, hey, that's the actual goal for me. So now how I'm setting up my portfolio, how I'm redoing my digitals, the type of jobs I'm submitting to, the frequency of jobs, and the frequency and how much I'm submitting to jobs, all those things have increased and shifted. So if you're trying to book consistently, but you are giving a hobby level effort, you're just submitting to the jobs that come to you, you're missing out on a lot of it. And if you don't know how to consistently find and submit to professionally jobs that already fit you and want you, then it doesn't matter how much you submit. You're normally going to submit to the wrong jobs, and that consistency is going to evade you and elude you. You're going to get frustrated, you're going to stop. So the real question is, what are you currently doing to pursue getting paid bookings? How often are you submitting to modeling jobs? And if you don't have an answer for that, or your answer is, oh, I don't because I don't have an agency, then you're already doing yourself a disservice, and you shouldn't be focused on getting consistent bookings. You should be focused on building your fundamentals, building your assets, building your network, and then working on getting a paid job. Hopefully it's helped.